Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation is from Gaudi, Mahalla Pehla. Sun sun Bujhai Maanai Naau, taake sad balihare jaun. Aap bulaye thaur na thau, tu samjhawe mel milaun. नाम मिले चले मैं नाल, बिन नावे बादी सब काल रहाओ. साचे गुर की साची सीख, तन मन शीतल साच परीख. जल परायन रस कमल परीख, शब्द रते मीठे रस ईख. हुक्मी संजोगी गढ़ 10 द्वार, पंच वसै मिल ज्योति अपार. आप तुले आप वणजार, नानक नामै सवारण हार. On the importance of attuning oneself to hukam. How does that happen? By listening to the discourse of Guru wisdom. Sun sun. What are we listening to? To the discourse of the Gur Enlightener. And listening itself is a process. It starts with listening with the ears, and then attentive listening teaches us to transcend the ears, to listen to intuition, intuitive insight. So Guruji says, sun sun, then what happens? Bujhai. Bujhai is discernment. It is not intellectual understanding. It is a discernment that arises out of one's sense of intuition. There's a big difference here. So sun sun Bujhai Maanai Naau. Maanai is being absorbed in, being attuned to now. The word here is now. And that is usually when naam is used as a synonym for hukam. So through the discourse of Guru wisdom, one develops intuitive awareness. And when that happens, one gradually finds oneself in harmony with hukam, the law. Maanai Naau. Taake sad balihare jaun. Guruji says that one who is able to attune or is in harmony with the law, that state, I am beholden to those who can achieve such a state or who are in such a state, because that is the aspiration, to be in harmony. So the Guru says, how balihare jaun, I am beholden, I submit to them, I'd sacrifice, I'd give away my life to them. Aap pulaye thaur na thau. Aap here refers to the self within. Aap pulaye. If we become forgetful of the self, then thaur na thau. Thaur means a footing. We have really no footing. It's like saying you have no traction, slippery, nor place, nor position. In other words, you do not find a hold on life. You're constantly falling and getting up. Imagine that. Tu samjhave mel milao. Then again, reinforcing the fact that it is by listening to the discourse of Guru wisdom, because the enlightener's explanation is what leads us back to the self. And in the Rahao Pankti, the main message, naam mile challe mein naal, bin naame badi sab kaal. Naam mile, self-knowledge, knowledge of the self, or hukam, mile challe mein naal. If you remember, hukam rajai chalna, nanak likhya naal. Similar thought here. It is only through self-knowledge that you can walk with hukam, that you can attune to hukam. And without that, Bin name baddi. You're tied. Sab, everyone is tied to Kal. Kal has multiple connotations, as we know. It suggests time, and time is also equated with death. So what is being said here is that you are wrapped up, you're caught up with fear of death because you're in time, because time has to come to an end. So without Nam, without this self-knowledge, so what is the self-knowledge that relieves us? It is simply the fact that the self is never born and never dies. It's eternal. And it is this self that you truly are. You're experiencing a body. This is the knowledge that one has to not only understand cognitively, but also intuitively become aware of it, live with it. Kheti vanaj name ki ot, yoke yourself to self-knowledge and then perform your farming and your trade, meaning live your life yoked to self-knowledge. Paap pun beej ki pot. Pot, a seed pot. So what the Guru is saying is that the mind is like a seed pot. It carries the seeds of evil and virtue, papun, choices in our mind. It carries the seeds of anger and lust. And these are things that vitiate the mind. They drain the mind. They make the mind weary. And without knowledge of the self, the mind is filled with the impurity of delusion. The delusion that I am the body. The lack of knowledge that I'm not the body. That really is the primary delusion that we all suffer from. Sache gur ki sachi seekh, tan man seetal sach parik. So Sache Gur, the eternal enlightener, the self, true are its teachings. When you test yourself against the truth of these teachings, the mind becomes calm and soothed. It remains untouched then by anger, by desire, or lust, if you will. And when you're imbued with the discourse of the Sabad, you become sweet like a sugar cane. a-sabad-a-day mithe, ras ek. And he concludes by saying, Hukam sanjogi gad das dwar. So by the ordinance of the will, this body-mind is like a fortress with 10 doors. Panchavase mil jot apar. And within this fortress, the 5 senses are mingled with the infinite light. That is the nature of being human. We are timeless, and at the same time, we are subject to time. There is a part of us that is degrading. There is a part of us that is eternal. And we have to develop the wisdom to understand that. So it is the self that is itself the trader and the merchandise. Aap tolle, aap vanjar. Nanak, naam swaranhar. Swaranhar means to rectify, to correct, to adorn. So self-knowledge is the corrective wisdom that we need. And that comes from the Gur Enlightener. On that note, until the next time, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.